Welcome back to Skidmore Family Farm. Today we're going to talk about some upcoming events that are happening here. We pretty much have kind of kept everything on the down low, kind of secret, because we didn't have all the facts straightened out yet, and we just wanted to get our ducks in a row, basically, not put the cart ahead of the horse, because we didn't know how things would work out, and there was a lot of ifs, ands, and buts that we couldn't really rely on to make a definite answer or statement about what's going on with Skidmore Family Farm. Plus, we've been really busy. Ashley was working pretty much 5-6 days a week when she could, and then when she stopped doing that, she started in on the house, cleaning, packing, organizing, all that fun stuff. Yeah. So we haven't really given too many updates. We did a little, maybe a week or so ago with the kids and the chickens.
I think that was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, maybe it might have been 2 weeks ago, outside, out in the backyard. And we really haven't done too many videos. It's rained like every day. It's raining right now.
Yeah.
And it's just been kind of a wet mess here in Indiana. So we have not recorded that many videos or put anything out. I have a few that I have on my computer that I just need to edit of some projects that I did at a church and some remodel projects at a customer's house. So we've been really busy, and we just haven't felt like giving the update because we didn't have all the facts. So I'll let Ashley tell you what's been going on and the big secret that we've been holding out on.
So we've been looking at a future homestead, as you all know. The property that we were looking at last year popped back up this year. So Sean and I went to look at it. The owner, who lives in Georgia, was actually was over in Kentucky. So May 8th, we went and looked at the property and made an arrangement with the owner to buy on owner financing, I'm sorry. So we started the process of getting the 10% down that is needed, and then waiting to our house sells to finish the closing and then buying and just getting everything worked out. But needless to say, our big announcement, one of them is we are purchasing 121 acres in Manchester, Kentucky. All land, no house, but part of our video's future will be Sean building our homestead. It has not been logged since the 70s, so we will have plenty of timber to do as much as we possibly can from the land, and naturally, versus running to the hardware store or whatnot. The other announcement is prior to us acquiring the property, I accepted a position at the hospital in Manchester, Kentucky. I was supposed to start tomorrow, but the clearance for my background and drug screen aren't done yet, so I will probably start hopefully this week. I will currently be renting a place to stay from one of the ladies in town very close to the hospital until we are able to close on the property and get something there temporary to live while Sean starts building us something. So as he said, yes, we've been busy. Weather's not been cooperating, but if we're not doing something with the kids or around here, we're visiting Kentucky. We went back to Manchester and showed my mom and a couple of the kids the property over Father's Day weekend. So we were going to take video of that, but just life moves too fast sometimes to catch it on video when you attempt to, but it doesn't always work out like that. But
well, and we didn't want to build up anything that we weren't for sure of either. We didn't want to come out on our videos, oh, we're getting this and doing this, and then it all fall through, because that's what happened last year.
It fell through last year, but we learned what we did wrong last year, so took that in hindsight this year to do exactly what we needed to do. Starting the process, yes, we did hit a couple bumps in the road, but as we all know, we're on God's timeline, not ours. With a little faith and hope, our bumps turned out to just be just little hills,
Yeah.
minor hills,
It's just,
where everything is falling into place, everything is working out, and we truly believe that
it's actually going better now than what we anticipated.
it's,
I think.
it's very exciting.
It's been kind of like dramatic or whatever for us, but it's going to be a big change. But I think that would be expected for anybody that's going to move out of state to have
a lot of
some bumps in the road. I mean, made us a nervous wreck because we want it to work out so bad, but everything's going really good. I mean, the financial part of it had us worried, and then all that got way better, and things happened that we didn't think were going to happen, and it was circumstances that were unknown that got cleared up, and it's going better than expected, I would say, wouldn't you?
It is. So we're extremely thankful and feel very blessed for that. On top of the 2 times that Sean and I have been to Manchester to talk with people down there, the school the children will be going to, the neighbors we have, the lady I'll be staying with, everybody has just reaffirmed, confirmed, and made us at ease with how happy we will be, how everybody's already offered to help us out in any way, shape, or form, how involved the community is, the school is with the children. It will be a private school that they will be going to, but I've talked to the lady I'm staying with has a 16-year-old, and she went to the private school that the kids are going to, and now goes to the private school that is free if you live in the county for grades higher and up. And just they did just put our mind at ease. That
I straight up asked her about the school, and she said, well, I went there from 2nd to 7th or 8th grade, whenever it ends, and she loved it and told us all the ins and outs, and reassured us that it was a good school, and everything that was told to us by the pastor of the church. It's a Christian school. She basically, as a 16-year-old, she was very well spoken and not backward about anything. She gave us the down low on the whole school, and basically for no reason, she didn't have to tell us the good side of everything. She didn't have one bad thing to say about the school. She told us all about the educational stuff, the after-school activities, the extracurricular stuff, musicals. I mean, she gave us... She told us everything we needed to hear from somebody that wasn't an employee of the church or school or anything like that. It was an unbiased opinion by somebody who actually attended the school, and that's what we really needed to hear. And we weren't expecting that. I didn't know her daughter went there, and you did.
No.
Did you? Yeah,
I knew she had a 16-year-old daughter.
Yeah, because basically we were visiting so Ashley could do her paperwork at the hospital and check out this home, because we don't know the lady. Well, we go to their house, and it's beautiful. All hardwood floors, hardwood staircase and crown molding with dental molding under. I mean, very nice, clean, beautiful house. Nicer than our house. I said she's probably gonna leave me and stay with her, and the lady laughed.
Needless to say,
it was very reassuring.
It was reassuring. I got goosebumps there, just some of the stuff they told us. I think both of us were extremely overwhelmed with hearing everything that we wanted to hear, and just how exciting it's going to be for us, let alone the children being involved in the community, all the summer camps, activities like Sean said. I just think it is going to be the best thing for us, because we are getting our dream of getting, especially Sean's dream, which he has dragged me into, but I'm now walking in. I'm not kicking and screaming. I'm looking very forward to it, very excited. Living off the land, being off-grid as much as possible, self-sustaining, just knowing everything that everybody is doing right now, how natural and where our food comes from, and growing your own food, and so on and so forth. I mean, we've got 17 chickens right now, and I love it. They're like my little babies. And I know things happen, but I'm just very excited. We all know that it will be good quality for the children to learn how to do things themselves. And then on top of going to a school that has religion as its base, and then just everything that they offer and that they have the kids involved with the community center of a food drive, giving food, because honestly the county is a poor county, nothing wrong with that. The church helps out as much as they can they get food donations, they have the children involved in that, they take the children to the nursing homes to do performances or help them out with that.
Sing. I think they sing and do plays.
Yeah,
Christmas play for them.
And then the church that the children that's in charge of where the school is, they partner with another church that does more clothing. So one does, it was a Baptist church that does the clothing. So they are they're
tied to the community.
They are.
Not just within their own church, I mean, just in general. They know people. The thing that I was worried about is when you go to talk to somebody, it was about schools, and when you have to pay for the school, being a private school, is I've seen people talk to you like when you go to daycares or preschools and that thing, and they try to sell it like it's a car, like they're a used car salesman, and they didn't do that. They gave us like a textbook explanation of how they do things, and the pastor's like, I won't talk the church up or the school. If you don't like it, I can recommend 4 other schools within an easy traveling distance if you don't like ours. So it was nice that they weren't just pressuring us, they were giving us options and helping us. I mean, the pastor took us out to lunch. I mean,
they are also the ones who gave me the information to the lady that I'm staying with up until Father's Day, like the week before, I still didn't have a place to stay to start work.
And the ladies got, like I said, it's a nice house. They have a huge in-ground swimming pool that they're like, you can bring the kids, they can stay and go swimming, and we're gone almost every weekend to our houseboat, so you guys will have the house to yourself, and just be responsible and watch the kids if they're in the pool, if you got little ones that are not adults or whatever. And the house, I mean, just very welcoming and make you feel that I felt like I was going to my family's house basically when I talked to her, and this was our first time meeting the lady.
And that's what we have ran into when we have been there, is the neighbors
all
next
the
door
neighbors
to
are
us
that way too,
flagging us down because we didn't get to meet one of the gentlemen.
Oh yeah, Ryan.
Ryan flagged us down.
Yeah, we talked to his parents. We go on the tour of the property on the 4-wheeler, which you can see in our video. This is the same property in Kentucky that we did a previous video on the 4-wheeler.
The future homestead video.
Yeah, the future homestead video. You can check that out. But like I said, we met the neighbor, one of the neighbors, and his son was gone or inside, or I don't remember what the deal was, but we went around the whole property on the 4-wheeler.
He wasn't feeling good, so he was inside.
He was inside, wasn't feeling good. We come back down to the pasture area and get ready to leave, and he comes out.
He's sitting there flagging
us down, making sure we come see him and talk to him.
Turned out 30 minutes talking to him.
Yeah, we sat and talked to him in the sun.
He didn't have to do that, but he did.
Yeah,
so
and this is a younger guy. This isn't some old time farmer or nothing. He's our age or maybe younger than us, and he came out and made a point to talk to us and told us things about the town, about the properties,
ins and outs of how
the other neighbors.
They are from northern Indiana,
and
they have 2 children that are 10 and 8 that they homeschool. But needless to say, and I know I say that a lot, so I apologize. Our children will have children right next door.
Yeah, literally the neighboring property.
They bought that property and are going to do what we're doing. They lived in a camper for I think 2 years while they got their homestead going. And so he knows what to do, how to get started.
Yeah, they have a huge tractor they're already offering to help us with.
Everybody's already offered if you need anything. Over Father's Day weekend, we were walking down, and I had just come back up from checking out the property, and a vehicle went by to make sure we were okay. And it happens to be on the other side. Our neighbors, I think his uncle, never met him from Adam, sat there and talked to us about it, and also said, hey, if you need anything, just let us know. So like I said, so welcoming. Every time we've gone there, only twice,
I've met
obviously.
more of the neighbors in a place I don't live there yet than I have in the town that we live in, that I've lived in 5 years. I've made more friends just by visiting there on day trips or overnight trips and have been offered bulldozers, tractors,
whatever we need to get
cold
started.
drink, letting us use the 4-wheeler to travel the property. I mean, and we don't know these people, and they're basically it's
treating us like we're family already.
Yeah, like I said, we felt like we'd lived there 20 years, and it was just, like I said, it was reassuring to know that there's people in the community that are willing to help.
It felt right. I left there so excited. Several times I had chills and teared up because it just felt so right that we are doing exactly what God wants us to do and what we are supposed to be doing, and we are just so excited.
I kind of think the bump in the road last year slowed us down and
defeated us a little, but we didn't
defeated
let that
us a
stop
little bit. At the same point, I think it was
Fueled
meant.
us.
I think it was meant to happen that way because now we're getting
Everything's falling into place better.
The last property last year that we really liked was a similar property, but it didn't have the big creek. It didn't have all the gravel. Didn't have nearly the amount of timber. So this property has everything a homestead needs. It's got gravel, rocks like stones to build fireplaces or pathways, gravel for the driveways, mountain springs, multiple waterfalls, which I'm sure some of them aren't there year round, but when we visited, we actually saw some, so we do know that there's mountain springs with waterfalls that we plan to develop into holding areas for water to irrigate the farmland, and so we don't have to like dig a well. We can hold water up and run like a 2-inch pipe down the mountain, which from what I gather, at the height that the water is, it would give us probably 100 psi of pressure because it's so high up. Once it reached to the bottom in a 2-inch tube and got reduced down to 1/2 inch or 3/4 or whatever for irrigation, that we would have an enormous amount of pressure and fresh water for the animals and that type of thing. Plus, it's got city water. We have multiple electrical hookup sites because the telephone poles are on the opposite side of the creek. You've got the road, some woods, a creek, and then a little bit of grass, and then the telephone poles, and then the field on the other side. So we've got 3/4 of a mile, 1/2 mile, whatever.
We're not going to be living under a rock.
Telephone pole after telephone pole with power, and I don't know if there's cable or what. It looked like telephone wire, so I'm assuming there's going to be all the utilities. There's a water hookup at the road with city water, so I mean it's
everything
the other
we need
property.
to get started.
The other property didn't have any of that, so it had electrical at the very front of the road, but I mean it would have taken thousands upon thousands of dollars to do the electrical as far as running telephone poles and power wires back into the property. This allows us to get 150 feet free. I called the electrical company down there, and we get, I think, 2 poles and a drop from the second pole down, and it will extend. They'll go up to 150 feet. So we can basically put a T-pole or a campsite pole, which will allow us to have a meter and a standard hookup, and I can tap into that and do whatever we need. Hook a house up to it, an RV. I know how to do all that, so it's basically just a matter of getting the property closed on and go to town. Once we sell our house, we'll have all the funds and all that to just like basically jump in head first, get the electrical, plumbing, get a temporary living situation. She's got a place to stay, and the lady welcomed us to come hang out and do whatever if we don't have anything or the kids want to go swimming. So it's I mean, we couldn't ask for a better situation to move somewhere where you're moving a little ways away from home. It's in a different state, so it's nice to have that backup.
The support system.
Yeah, it's like basically it's like having family there, and that's how they treated us.
Yeah. So.
But my parents also want to move down there too after seeing it all. My dad's, I think he was convinced that he didn't want to, but I think after he sees it and we start to develop it, get a pond.
He's already said he's ready to move.
I mean, they're past the retirement age and they still work part-time, and they still have a house payment at the lake house that you've seen. So this is basically a place I can build something for them. They can come live there for free, travel to Florida in the winters or whatever, do whatever they want. And
it's
not
our
have
turn to take care of them.
Yeah, they took care of me for my whole life, basically, and I was I was more than a handful.
He's the devil's child. Don't let him fool you.
Yeah, spawn of Satan.
Yes, needless to say, and they're, like I said, they are the best in-laws. We're only going on 2 years married, 3 years together, but I could not be more thankful for his parents. They are absolutely wonderful. They are a godsend.
And even though they're leery about us moving, they back us 100. Yeah, they're helping with the kids, watching them so I can do work and we can do stuff on the house without being interrupted, or watching them while we visited Kentucky for the past 2 years or year and a half. Just, they basically supported us even though they weren't that sure that it was a great idea at first. But I think we've reassured them. We've done our homework. The hang up last year just prepared us for this year, and everything has gone great. Basically, we couldn't ask for a better situation to prepare to move. We've cleared up all the unknowns. We've secured jobs. I've already been offered work by multiple people in the construction field or like maintenance as a contractor. So we definitely have the finances, and selling the house is going to give us more finances. So, I mean, that's usually the big setback for a lot of people when you're trying to start a homestead, is coming up with the financial means to do it. And it was really worrying us too, because we didn't know how things were going to work out. But I think it was meant to be for us not to move last year. I think God had bigger plans for us this year, and it's fell into place basically. We couldn't ask for, like I said, a better situation right now. Even though we were really worried and stressed in the past couple months, things are just going better than planned. Actually, I think all the preparation and hard work, it's just finally catching up, and we're reaping the benefits of what we've sowed for the last year. We've went through just all kinds of issues. We've had to finish the house. We had to find out all this information, get to know people, find a property. The property that was listed last year was taken off the market, I believe, and then all of a sudden it came back on the market right when we were starting to look again. So Rosie's gonna have 100 acres to run, do what she loves.
More than that.
Yeah. No, she better stay out of the mountains. The bears will get her. But yeah, that's our update, basically, in a nutshell. We've kind of rambled, but there's just been so many things that were unanswered that we didn't want to give you an update on and not have things in the process. Basically, we just had too many unsure, unsettled terms with property and jobs, and just we didn't have all the facts to make an update, basically. So we waited and held off until today. But we will have, like I said, some big changes coming up. You're going to see a house being built by me solely, basically. Maybe the neighbors helping out, or some family.
Or anybody else who wants to come visit us in Manchester.
Yeah. Any of the other homesteaders want to come visit, hang out, you're more than welcome to come camp, hang out, work for a day, or just come chill and explore our property that we're getting. And that's the reason why we want to share. This isn't just for us, it's for family, friends, fellow YouTubers on the homesteads, people that want to come stay. We plan on building cabins to basically give us a second source of income besides what our normal jobs. I would kind of like to do a bed and breakfast type thing, to where all the food and vegetables, animals we raised that we would serve home cooked meals included in kind of like a all-inclusive type thing, and use that as basically as a tourist or the attraction to have fresh food that's home raised. They can come out and see the animals, people that have children or whatever. I would kind of like to do on a different note, the creek that runs the width of the property, I thought about like a lazy river, maybe like tapping into it, come into the property and go back into the creek. And also the mountain streams, maybe diverting them into a big holding pond and maybe having like a mountainside slide of some sort. We haven't done enough exploring and all that to know exactly what we can and can't do, but that's in the thought process. Maybe having a water slide, a waterfall by the house.
Lots of ideas.
Yeah, I mean,
honestly, we have to focus on homestead first. We know that.
We've got to get a house situation taken care of first off.
That's our biggest.
There's going to be lots of things in the next years coming that you'll hopefully see on video.
And like, you know, as Sean does, he constantly watches you guys. We love the information that especially him, he follows you guys more than I do with my work schedule, and allowing him to be home watching the kids or working on the house. He has learned so much from everybody out there. So number one, thank you for sharing your lives and your experiences with us, because we're going to want that. You know, Sean is very knowledgeable and educated on how to do different things, but if you found a better way to do it, or when you started out, we've watched all the beginning videos of what not to do when you start your homestead, what to do, but obviously we still want to do it the right way. We want it as easy as possible, but we know it doesn't work like that.
Well, so many of the videos that I've watched, people weren't sure themselves, but it reassured us that if they can do it, and they knew less than we did or more than we did. There's all kinds of different families and just people that are partnered
3 young
up,
kids, we need a house,
married couples that don't have kids. I mean, everything's on YouTube, so you can see how people did things. And even if I thought it was one way, they showed a different way that maybe will work better on whatever it is. I mean, there's all kinds of videos out there that give you different information for different cities, states, countries, different hemispheres. We follow people in Australia, the UK, South America. So we've learned lots of different things that we can implement, that we know certain things will work, and some of them will just be trial and error, like the other homesteads have done. So was nice to have that educational part that we get from the other homesteaders and YouTube channels, how-to videos, all that stuff. Trey's here. Trey and Elena are the only ones here right now. The other kids are at their parents'. So we only have 2 and a Rosie. We have a Rosie still.
And 17 chickens.
And 17 chickens. But I think that about wraps it up. We really stretched this one out. But we just had so many things that we didn't have answers for, and we felt like it was time to finally, we're getting facts. It's not, we're getting things set in stone, so to speak.
It's a done deal now.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, something terrible would have to happen, knock on wood that it doesn't, but to stop now. We're getting paperwork and contracts and all the legal technicalities figured out to where it's going in our favor instead of being an unanswered question. I think that pretty much wraps it up. And it's kind of a relief to tell you guys too, because I've been ready to explode. Yeah, I've been wanting to do this video for 3 months, but I knew we needed to wait until we got answers.
We didn't want to jinx ourselves, and now that we know we're confident in everything.
Yeah, we're confident at this point that everything is 75% 5% complete of what we needed to do and answers we needed. So
hopefully within the next 2 weeks we'll be able to close on the property. That is our goal, so we'll see how it works out, but that is our intention. And then once we close on it, like Sean said, we got to get the funds from the house first, but can work on getting something on there temporary for us to live on while he starts building.
Selling the house, all our neighboring homes that have been up for sale, they all sell within 30 days. And I have a lot of leeway on our property because of I did the work here, so I can take a little cut here and there as far as the price on our property. So it should work out and go pretty quick. I mean, we should be doing videos in the near future of a new home being built. So, but that wraps up another Skidmore Family Farm video. What do we got? What do we do? What do we do, Trey? Hit the thumbs up.
Subscribe.
Please subscribe and hit the notification bell to get all our latest videos if you haven't already subscribed.
So, thank you again for watching. We appreciate all of our wonderful subscribers. We also wanted to do a quick shout out, thoughts and prayers to Living Homestead. Living Traditions.
Living Traditions daughter
was in a car accident, but from what we read, she's home recovering. So thoughts and prayers go out to them. I couldn't imagine going through something like that. So keep up the faith.
All right. Thanks. Have a great day.
Bye.